Hi everyone, it's Eric. Welcome back to the office. We're going to go over 3 quick sales on this video. Some of them being vintage and others just being something that needs to be replaced on a regular basis. Alright, first one is this 1983 G.I. Joe or Cobra Fang helicopter. It does have the bomb with it, but it is missing the 4 missiles that would be on the side. They'd be long and red. They'd attach here and here. The blades are warped because this was at a garage sale find. It was laying in a box with other toys, so who knows how long it had been laying in that box. I think they'd be able to probably get those straightened out somewhat. This sold for $10. I paid $1.50 for it. Actually learned a lesson when I was looking up the parts. Some of these things are worth more individually, such as the landing gear. I recently sold for $13.50. I've seen the gun in the front, just the red part, for like $5, and the roll cage is something people are 3D printing now, but I think it's about $7.50. So if I were to part this completely out, I'd probably make about 30 bucks on it, but I really don't want to take the time to do that. I have a ton of listing yet to do. I've been listing like crazy yesterday and today. I bumped my store up to a basic store, which gives me 250 listings per month, and I don't want to waste them really, so I could plow through 100 real quick, but 250 takes a little bit of time. The next one is also G.I. Joe related. You're going to think this is probably junk, but it's not. This is 1984 G.I. Joe figure Firefly, and he is not complete and he is for repair. He has his torso, which is, head, chest, and arms. He has his waist, and he has his legs. So what this needs is a new O-ring. If you don't know about G.I. Joe figures, they have a real thick black rubber O-ring that attaches basically from like their sternum down to their pelvis, and that holds them together. In this case, this one is snapped. Yeah, I can actually still see it in there. So if you even have broken G.I. Joes, people buy them and they repair them. This one sold for $15, and I have nothing into this. This was a junk find, basically. People were having a garage sale and had this box they were going to throw away or give away for free, and he was in there. And so I paid nothing for him and got $15 out of it. Yeah, worst case scenario, people will buy the heads, the legs, the waist, the arms. You can take these things apart and sell individual limbs. So they go for about $2.50 a piece. So if you have broken G.I. Joes at home, you can try selling them to have someone else repair them, or you could take them apart and then you could sell it individually. And then last thing was a garage sale pickup from last week. These are Dr. Grabow, something like that. These are pipe filters. And what I mean by a pipe filter is the type of pipe that people smoke. And these were there, and I don't know really why I picked them up. I just know people still sometimes smoke pipes, and I never even really knew there was like a filter for it. I just thought it was straight tobacco, smoking an unfiltered cigarette. So these I picked up for 50 cents and sold them for $16.49. There are 109 total filters in here. One box was open, missing one filter, and then the other 10 boxes were complete with 10 in it. So this is something needs to be replenished as people smoke. So I picked it up, and I've seen some people selling pipes and things online recently, so I don't know if that's still a fad or something that older people do. As they get older, they smoke pipes. I had a couple uncles that smoked pipes. They've quit, and so I'm not really sure if this is going to be more of a collector's item or something to put with like a display. But $15 or 50 cents in the $16.49. So in the 2 things I have here, that I paid for, I have $2, and I'm going to make about $38.50 because I am paying shipping on these, and these don't weigh that much. All right, thanks. Bye. All right, 4 more items sold. So first one is this RCA remote. It's a System Link 4 universal remote for 4 devices. This is a little older one because it says TV, VCR, cable box, plus one more. It is tested and functioning. It's not brand new, it has been opened, but it is tested and functioning in the original package. So picked that up for 50 cents and sold it for $7.50, and actually sold it, I think, the same day I listed it. So that was kind of cool. Some more body parts here if you're the G.I. Joe fan. The waist, the legs, those are all together. And what we call the backpack, if you see that in there. So the waist and the legs go together, they're still together. The backpack would go with the figure. This is from what they call a laser rifle trooper. The guy doesn't even have a name, but it's from 1982-83. And for the lower half of a G.I. Joe, I got $7.50. I was kind of figuring out how much you could get for an actual G.I. Joe if you just completely parted them out. So you would say the two arms, the two legs, the waist, the torso, and the head. So you'd have 7 items at about $2.50 a piece. So it'd make you 14, probably about $18, $50, $19, somewhere around there, just to part them out, take them apart and sell one limb at a time. And people do that because people buy them and replace what's broken on theirs. We got the nice green and white Honda mesh snapback hat here. I paid $2 for this at a local thrift store, and it sold for $9.99. It only took a couple days to list. There was people on that basically as soon as I listed it. And then this last thing I paid $4 for. It is the Big Buck Safari, just the yellow gun. There's no receiver or anything else like that. With the attached AV cord. So someone's replacing a gun more than likely, or putting sets together. So the Jakks Pacific Big Buck Safari orange gun only, tested and working, sold for $14.99. And all items, buyers paying ship. All right, bye. All right, coming back with some items that sold. It kind of never fails. As soon as I wrap up a video, about 5 to 10 minutes later, something else sells and I have to do another video. Not a huge issue, but sometimes it's a little annoying when you're kind of wrapping up for the day. The item that sold right after the last video is this Easton Brown catcher baseball glove. It's an N24. It's tanned genuine steer hide. It is a right hand throw, so it's on my left hand. This thing isn't even dirty. Like, when I was a kid, my ball glove was always like dirty, but I don't know, it's because of, that maybe they played on brick dust more than they do dirt infields now. I picked this up at a garage sale about a month ago, and I paid $5 for it, and I sold it for $17.99. Yeah, definitely a really awesome glove with lots of play left in it too. All right, next thing coming up is kind of a gross, dirty thing. This is strawberry shortcake in the box. This was stored at my parents' house in the closet. You can see the UPC has been removed. I don't know if there was some type of program where you sent UPCs in. Strawberry shortcake's in there, kind of dirty, says the box is as well. I sold this for $9.95. So this was zero investment because all I had to do was take the time to clean out a closet at my parents' house. Next thing is a 1984 vintage G.I. Joe mortar defense unit lot. It's incomplete. Basically, this thing has like a barrel in it, a bunch of plastic sandbags, and a couple of opposable plates, and a couple gas cans. And this was kind of meant for a staged area, not so much for play. This was a find, and I sold it for $9.99, so no investment on that as well. And then the last thing on this video is this Logo Athletic vintage 1990s Miami Dolphins hat. Also, in addition to Logo Athletic, is Proline, so both companies out of business. The inside of the hat's even pretty clean. That's not bad compared to the way a lot of hats look on the inside. I paid $2 for it. This is also called the diamond shaped one. So if you see these hats with these elongated diamonds, they're pretty collectible. Also, the shark tooth is also really collectible. I picked it up at a garage sale for $2 and I sold it for $45. I kick myself now because there was an Indiana University shark tooth hat there. It was a Logo 7, which I think eventually became Logo Athletic. And they wanted $2 for it. I put it down and I went back later in the day to see if it was still there, and it was gone. That's definitely like a $45 hat, if not higher. So some of these vintage hats, even if they're worn, sell pretty well. I am going to come back with, I got 2 items that sold that are too big for me to really handle like this. So that'll be the next part of the video. Bye. All right, in the last part of the video, I showed you a wrong item. The strawberry shortcake was not the right one. All those strawberry shortcake boxes of the dolls say strawberry shortcake real big on it, so it's very tempting just to grab one that says strawberry shortcake. The one I showed you was raspberry tart. I went down into the basement to grab some more inventory later, and I found strawberry shortcake still sitting there. Luckily, I didn't send that one out, so I didn't cross ship or anything like that. So I'm glad I caught that. One of the other 2 items that I couldn't really show you on screen because of the size of the box. One was a lot of 9 Christmas music LP records from the 1960s and 70s. Those records came in with a typewriter I bought at an auction. I paid like $8.63 for everything. I got a typewriter and about 57 records. And I sold the typewriter for $69.99. And this is the 3rd lot of records I sold. So it was 9 records and I sold it for $7.99. Usually I go like $1 less than the number of records. So that's, I believe, the 3rd lot. So that one's not bad at all. It's free money basically because, you know, they were thrown in. The item I really wanted was the typewriter, which, like I said, sold for $70 within 6 hours of listing it. But then these are kind of just extras that they threw in. And the other item was another PS2 Sony PlayStation. This one had 1 controller, all the cords, and 3 games. 3 of them were being PS1 and 3 being PS2. And I learned through this how to fix the laser, because when I would put disc in it, it would give me a disc read error. So I've learned how to take it apart and clean the laser. And I also learned how to do PS1 games in a PS2. So if you don't know how to do this, you put a PS1 game in a PS2 console. If it comes up as an audio disc, you hit the reset button once, give it like 2 seconds, hit the reset button a second time, and it will come up and it will read the disc as a game. So that was kind of cool. This one I had about $15 into. I had $5 in the actual console because I said it didn't work, but I fixed it. I had to order a power cable and an AV cord for it, so that was like $5. And then I had bought a game with a Devil May Cry 2, so I did have $15 into it, and I sold it for $45 total. And it went to someone I sold a PlayStation to the other week, so in Lexington, North Carolina. All right, that is it for this little video. Thanks, bye.